issue.
Does this help standing up for the height?
It feels good.
Does it feel better than what's sitting?
No, it's
Maybe
worse.
that's where the soft
worse because you're further away.
Conversations.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Right? You
that
have to,
had
like,
to hurt,
arm
right?
drop it.
A little bit.
It was surprising because I didn't expect to hit it that hard, but it actually didn't hurt. Yeah.
Welcome to the last call. I was looking that way.
They changed the lighting for last call?
Yeah. Yeah, they make it a little dimmer,
like
and then they
that.
blast it, like, get the fuck out when it's time to leave. I also like it because they just tell us to leave, and I don't have to find some sort of awkward segue.
There's no segue.
Where I'm like, our guest should leave now. I just leave. I'm like, bye. They tell me when to stop working.
I feel like that's the best tactic for you just in general as a person.
It's great. I'll never stop. That's my problem. If they didn't blast
I'm
it...
literally referring to that.
Yeah, I'll be here forever. Please, shut me down. Thank you for being here, John.
Thank you for
joining
inviting
on
me.
this very special
First time I've
episode.
ever officially been invited to
Yeah,
the
welcome.
Off-Topic set.
I thought it was really
I mean, some of those were inviting. I mean,
Well,
there
more
was
like
time when you were
challenged. More like challenged.
John, fix this.
Yeah. That was more like calling
This
you
was,
out.
John, would you come to the Off-Topic set? We'd
Yeah.
like you to actually be a part
And
of
I
it.
loved your response based on the context of why I wanted you here. You said, sure, period, swell.
Yeah.
So, John, Andy, Lindsay, and myself, was it Friday? I don't know.
Something like that.
I don't know what
Sure.
no, today's Friday. It was
Tuesday.
Earlier this week.
It was
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Earlier this week. I don't fucking know. We,
Today, we
was
will.
tomorrow.
So we
We
saw...
have.
we
Tuesday's
saw-
almost Friday. You're fine.
We saw The Killing Joke, which, if you're unfamiliar, is a very, very well-known and well-regarded Batman graphic novel from the early 90s or late 80s.
Alan Moore wrote it.
So they made, to everyone's, where most people's
Celebration.
people went nuts over, they made an animated film.
Feature film, yeah.
You know, which is basically like a direct-to-DVD, on iTunes, all
They
that.
do a lot.
Usually. But there was some limited theater runs in general, and both us being here in Texas, the Alamo does a lot of stuff like that.
Alamo's great.
So we got to go see it in theaters.
You did.
And it wasn't great.
It started great by that at the Alamo. They played this really cool 15-minute like Mark Hamill interview
Okay.
where he walked us through his like story as playing the Joker over the past how long has it been 15,
That's
20
cool.
years, something like that.
Yeah, 90s.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
animated
so he,
series.
like that was really cool, and like he even went as far back as like talking about Star Wars and then how that led into his career with Joker, and then all the way. So we all like
Wait, how does one segue to the other?
he used it as a like how he
Like I got my start
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
deal.
Okay.
And
In
then,
the
and then
industry, I
like...
suppose.
You
and
guys
then-
may have heard of it. I was in this little movie.
Yeah, it was actually. I was like, he's still talking about Star Wars. He went on about Star Wars for about 12 minutes,
Yeah.
which was really cool.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with Batman.
Yeah, he
or
told the
Killing
story of
Joke.
like how he got the part for Star Wars and all that. It was actually really interesting, and so it got us all hyped for the movie. And then that ended when the movie started.
Yeah, so I'll say now, we're doing Last Call. It's already, a sponsor or firsty only show.
Firsties.
And it's also not. Again, it's not really a theater film. It's a.
Like you said,
it's
TOD.
So
yeah.
we're just gonna spoil it. There's gonna be spoilers. You want to
It's in
see
a book.
Yeah, it's also 20 years old.
It's a
Come
book.
back
I
to
thought
this
the
later.
problem was that they went
Oh yeah, I mean that
perhaps
was
off book a bit.
okay. No. I'm gonna say this really clear. That was the beginning of the problems. The first half of the movie was the beginning of the problems. It wasn't the only problem. So all of you assholes are saying, "Oh, the beginning ruined the end." It's like, no.
No, it was all not
Shit
good.
from wall to wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people are trying to pull out one awful, horrendous act from this film and say, besides that, it's good though.
Right.
It's not. It's not good, really, at all. In any
But yeah,
way.
they add like 40 minutes of a Batgirl story.
Everybody loves Batgirl.
But
Come
here's
on,
the-
nobody gets to write Batgirl.
Here's the problem with that,
Again,
too, though.
That's why
this is a
people are
thing I've heard.
pissed.
They
I don't
didn't
actually know.
segue that story into the Killing Joke in any way, shape, or form. It's essentially like watching a Batgirl episode of Batman, and then it ends, and they go, okay, now the Killing Joke's
What it was
I
attempting.
also hear it gets weird.
Yes. What it was attempting to do was it was attempting to get you to care more about Batgirl and also to be more invested in her, so that when the big thing in The Killing Joke, which is Barbara Gordon gets shot, happens, it has weight. They failed miserably, which then led to that moment in the movie also failing miserably as far as having any emotional effect.
Yes,
Stop it.
It's true.
Stop it. Don't. Okay, I can't turn around every time and see you. This is how the entire movie experience worked for me, was that I was sitting here, Andy, Michael, Lindsay. I kept having these moments where I'm watching the screen and just hating life and all things involved with it. And I must have shown that with my face or some sort of action, because then I'd turn and look and I'd see the
nonverbal
gleaming
or-
smile of Michael Jones
I mean-
just enjoying my
I think
misery.
Savoring it.
John's like, I must have given some indication. That's what he was doing in the film.
He says at one point, I just kept looking down at my food. I don't remember doing that, but he
He
said
would just stare down
Just a broken
and
man.
shake his
block
head,
that part
just
out.
listening. That, or I would see John do like the angry squint, like
I did.
he would like gesture at the film, even the opening, because and the big kicker here is again, I'm gonna spoil it, so if you care, one, it's old, two, you shouldn't, because it's not good.
Yeah.
Don't go see it. The real kicker here is in the beginning part that they made up before the Killing Joke. Batman and Batgirl fuck each other,
Yep.
which makes no sense in
I mean,
any
is it
iteration.
really dark brooding fucking, or is
No,
it
not really.
No,
It's more
it
like
is one of those shitty scenes where someone gets mad at someone, and then they start fighting, and then that segues.
I'll shove you. I'll shove you. I'll shove you.
Pants are out, pants are off.
Oh shit.
Literally, Batgirl on the
Oh,
roof.
she did the whole like.
It was like that.
The whole
bra.
shirt up.
My bra's out, and it just pans up, and they fuck on a roof. I
I mean,
guess.
if I remember correctly, there's sort of like a daddy-daughter
Yes,
kind of
there's
vibe
very
there,
much.
right?
There's
Right.
very much a daddy-daughter vibe between Batman and Batgirl before she becomes Oracle. It's very daddy.
Look, Batman, Bruce Wayne didn't have parents for long. Maybe he doesn't understand how parents and children interact.
What was the line?
well, so they do that, and then the other thing. We live in a special time now, in 2016.
Progressive film.
We're very progressive, where gay marriage is legal and openly accepted, as it should be. DC felt, Warner Brothers, whoever the fuck made this, felt, we really have to play that up in this film. It's very important to Killing Joke. Again, you want to do that in any other thing, it didn't work very well, but whatever. Why you're injecting this in Killing Joke, I can't imagine how they thought this would go over well and people would love it. But in all of the early Barbara stuff, all her shit, like with Batman and like this made-up asshole they're chasing named Paris Franz is the bad guy.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
All right. Sounds like a real
All of
firm.
the exposition shit about Batgirl bitching about Batman, like leading up to and then banging him, and then literally complaining about it afterwards because he's not calling her back. She is at the library the whole film and has a super gay friend who's like, oh, listen to
stereotypical.
this girlfriend,
Yeah.
like just super gay, and even so much we're like, okay, he's a gay character, that's fine.
He's the
It's
plucky
the
gay
whole
cohort, yeah.
point though, where the film's like, but he's gay, and we put him in the movie. He's there, where she's
Lest you
she's
forget.
Why else would
You
he
know.
be talking to a chick
She's-
that much? Come on.
she's ranting about something. She of course can't say I'm trying to sleep with Batman or I slept with Batman. So she says it's her yoga instructor.
Yeah.
So all their dialogue is talking about yoga, and he's like, "Girl, you need to get another yoga class." And she goes, "It's the only class. This is the only yoga class I can take." Blah 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 blah. Storms
Nothing
out.
else fits in my schedule.
Storms
okay?
out of the library, and then it goes to the guy, and he says something like, and they say there's a lot of drama in the gay scene. That's a line in the movie.
Oh,
Come
no,
on.
No,
It's like,
They
what is
say-
happening? Then
The
another
Killing
part
Joke.
after, right, like the classic graphic
I
novel.
feel like maybe they played it on the audience.
One of the many
After-
jokes that murdered
That's
the film.
what the Killing Joke was.
I
Yeah.
believe it's her talking to that dude
It's her talking to
afterwards. She's like leaving a message or
Yeah.
something. And in her frustration, Barbara Gordon, the loved character in Batgirl, exclaims, "It's just sex."
That might have been a moment where I might have made hand gestures toward the screen.
I think I audibly started. Like there were
Positive
people.
role
There were
models for women.
there were several people laughing in the
There
theater
were actually-
besides just us.
Yeah, there were, like, especially as the movie progressed, near the end, there was a lot of laughter during non-laughing moments.
It was funny. It was fucking funny. So another funny part was right next to John.
Of the classic psychological horror. Another funny part.
Yeah.
Right next to John was a fan.
A Guardian.
He was a Guardian? Oh, that's
he was
awesome.
wearing his Guardian shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Let me find. Oh, here we go. He very much enjoyed us watching the film. I could tell, like he was laughing at
He's
John's
like, it's
misery
like
as well the
theater
entire
mode
time.
right now.
It literally was. Like we weren't really talking during the
Right.
movie,
Yeah.
but we were like gesturing.
More or less.
As soon as it ended, though, I was like, "What a piece of shit!" And we were like talking, in the theater as the lights were up, and like people were laughing at it. But Taylor Butler, shout out to you. He fucking tweeted right after the film. So I was sat next to Andy, Lindsay, John, and Michael during Killing Joke. let's just say John wasn't a fan. That's his tweet. And I found it and retweeted it. Andrew also, when we got out, he took a picture of your face and tweeted it. And John was like, so it wasn't even funny to John. He was angry about it.
I broke it.
And he was like covering his face as Andrew took a photo of it. I also heard that, like, John, we met him there, so we went home in a separate car, and we were like laughing about it in the car, like that was awful. Like John really did not like that film. Like I like Batman, I like movies. I'm like, oh, I'll go see it. Oh, this is awful. Oh well, like it means nothing to me. I don't dwell on it.
Yeah.
John, like, I think I initiated. I texted him something like, so that wasn't that good, huh? And he's like, oh my god. And he started typing it, and then he started like telling me about all the people that were tweeting us. They're like, yeah, but the rest of the movie's fine after the first 20 minutes. And he's not. He's like, shut the fuck up, you don't know what you're talking about. Andrew told me the next day, he's like, yeah, John texted me that he went home, and we saw the movie at 10 o'clock. So I imagine, we got home around midnight, something like that. He goes, John went home and took a 40-minute shower after the film.
Okay, wait. It wasn't a 40-minute shower.
I'm just saying that's what he said.
But it was...
Burned his clothes.
This is how it actually went down, was that I was actually Snapchatting a friend all of my, like, problems I had with the film, all the while walking into my house, like, just Snapchatting everything I'm saying, walking into my bathroom, turning on my shower. The last, like, Snapchat might have been, like, as I'm getting ready to get into the shower. Put my phone down, just went in the shower for like at least 20 minutes. It was my cool down shower. It was John needed to relax to go to bed because John hated life and everything about it because of this fucking movie. It was a piece of shit.
But if you want to buy it, it's on iTunes.
It is.
Watch it at home.
It already made its money back. It already made its money back.
Glowing review.
The other thing too, like it just didn't look good. The animation was not.
That's what I was
trying
trying
to
to
see
say.
trailers. It looks a little like they missed a
slapped
couple.
together.
I haven't
It's
seen
like-
anything about it. And so it's good to hear that because, like, I don't know, is that something I should watch just because of how bad it is, or is that something I should entirely avoid?
Go.
They
There's
went
like
for a style. It didn't work out that well, I don't
Yeah.
think.
The most
what is
interesting.
his name?
little
Bruce
jerky.
Timm. That style from the animated
think that's-
adventures.
yeah, I think
but it was
you're
like
right.
that on a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And really
definitely
fast.
It was a super budget, and I don't know
Yeah, I
why.
haven't
Like,
seen
if you wanted to
anything
make it,
about
make it. Even John had a good point when he said afterwards, like the thing that they shot with Mark Hamill in the beginning was awesome, and it was super interesting, like him doing the interview and shit.
Yeah.
But right when it started, it was like May 2016 or like June 2016,
Oh no, his interview said June 2016.
and it's like, fuck, they filmed that like last week.
Yeah.
Like, throw it in. Like you can like that right there tells you how long this
Yeah.
movie was in production. It's like the opening 15 minutes was literally filmed a month ago.
Oh, that was part of the movie? I thought
That was part of like the Alamo experience.
okay. So
Yeah,
is
I
that
don't know, but
somewhere-
It might be on the DVD. It might be
I don't
extra.
know, but it should be because especially after the movie, it's really like, oh, they were like, we need this.
Yeah.
Like someone watched the movie.
Someone,
and was like,
we need to
fuck.
save this.
All right, somebody get Mark for 20 minutes.
Have him
and
talk
throw
about
it at the
Star
beginning of the
Wars.
film.
Damn anything.
Yeah, I mean,
Just have Mark talk.
The voice acting was good. It was fine. I thought it was fine. But like the lines, like even getting into the Killing Joke, because it was also rated R. It's like the first rated R. It was pointless.
It's
Like there was
so
nothing.
cringy.
They didn't do
Swore
anything.
a few times. At
They didn't
one
do
point,
anything.
a thug literally said, "What the f?"
All right.
Not what the fuck. He said, "What the f?"
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
No. He said, "What the f?" in
He's
a
like,
rated
what the
R
F
film.
are you
What?
doing? And we were like, why?
But rate this R, guys. Seriously.
There was
Rate
not
it
a
R.
single
Because there was
thing
the
in the
bra, and then there was a few times they said bitch and ass, I think.
And then in the actual Killing Joke, when
Oh,
Joker,
they showed blood.
Joker takes a bunch of pictures while he's like,
yeah, there's some
Right.
like inferred nudity.
yeah, where it's like, a half of a
Her
boob or
thigh.
something, or her thigh. There's literally nothing in the entire film that
No.
even comes close to
Headshots
rating
with
in an
bullets,
R.
that's about it.
Yeah, people get shot in the head and go like that, like once or twice. So I guess that's the R rating, but I mean, you easily could have got like shot and it'd be PG-13.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like even they pushed for the R rating just to say it, like for no reason.
Just to amp it up.
It didn't do anything in the fucking film. It was really weird.
It was pointless.
It was pretty pointless.
wasted, really.
The only interesting parts to me, because it's in the Killing Joke, is like the Joker's backstory stuff about
Yeah.
when he was a normal person
That's
and he
the stuff
had
I would be
a
interested in.
family. I'm like, oh, okay. And
Yeah.
then this is awful. This is awful. This is
Right.
awful. This
Not to
part's
ruin
pretty
any of
good.
that for you, but none of that is canon.
Yeah.
So it's not
Right.
even like it's the Killing Joke is like all that like Joker stuff. It wasn't ever. It's not like verified canon. In fact, I think they've retconned that even since.
Even in
then.
the comic?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You see why I didn't like it though? See, like that's even me pulling the small pieces where I don't know shit about the comics.
He's
I don't
like,
really
but
care
at least
that
I
much.
liked that 5 minutes. No, you didn't.
You
No.
can
You can
have,
like it, but it's not real.
You can have John's perspective, which is like, huge
Inception.
comic book fan of the series, fan of the original, and they just destroyed it.
Yeah.
I don't even care about that stuff, and it was not good. It was not good in any way. So people who are like, I've seen tons of people be like, yeah, people don't like it, but if you're a Batman fan, you'll love it. If you're a Batman fan, you'll fucking hate it. It's way worse if you're a huge
they meant
fan.
the kind of Batman fan that'll watch anything. It's just like, Batman's in it.
Yeah.
I do.
I did
So
have
anyone under 12, basically.
There you go, yeah.
I did have a few people like tweeted me that it was their favorite Batman movie of all time.
I was just about to say, yeah. How many people
They
do you think
must
are going
have
to come out without
just
saying?
watched Batman v Superman.
What did you say?
I remember
Martha?
even that's my mom. In the beginning, even there's a little kind of lead into the movie before the Mark Hamill thing with somebody somebody from the creative end of the film, and they're talking about how they should love the Killing Joke. And we knew about the Barbara Gordon thing going in because that's like the second it came out, people were like, "Why?
Yeah.
Why is she fucking Batman? That's what." And even in that thing, he says something like, I'm paraphrasing here, but he's like, "Yeah, we really we love the graphic novel, and we feel like some sort of like we recreated it as
Perfect.
accurately as possible."
Well,
and right then, John
Held
was like,
true to it.
John went like this in the movie, like already then.
Here's the thing. You can't. This is what they did in the movie. They basically just copy and pasted the thought bubbles and all the lines from the book and put them in there. But you can't do that when you make a movie based on a book. You have to do this thing called adapt it. And they didn't adapt it at all. So it was just like wooden and stiff and didn't work for the film.
And then,
Here's what I need to know.
yeah.
Did Commissioner Gordon have to turn on the light and have an awkward conversation with Batman about
Listen,
things he
I've
heard,
heard some things,
going
Batman.
on?
No,
No,
it didn't
but
come
he
up.
was-
It didn't come up, but he was naked.
But he did get naked.
in a collar for a fair
Which,
amount of it.
well, in the Killing Joke story.
Why?
That's
Oh,
what
no,
happens in
because,
the Killing
okay, yeah, okay.
You just meant like in general, like Gordon's just walking around.
Yeah.
Batman,
Hello,
glad I
Batman.
called you here today.
But the other thing was too was like, and the thing,
I've
the
got a
thing is,
situation down south. I need you to take care of it immediately.
all the stuff they added that clearly wasn't in the comic or the graphic novel was just shit. Like present day shit. Like yoga. You know what I mean? Like, or the yoga
Someone
instructor. It's like,
somewhere-
why are you adding that? Like,
He's the only one that's got a latte I can drink for miles. Okay?
literally, like that's the additional dialogue they added to the film. Just like Valley Girl nonsense.
Someone's proud of
It
that.
Just doesn't read Batman in any
Someone's like,
way
that's
at
going on my
all.
resume.
Yeah.
That's a job
And
security.
then going off your resume.
Yeah. So that was that was Killing Joke.
That was Killing Joke.
It was
I did get a free glass of champagne.
you did. You were happy about that at the start. Oh, that's it. That means leave.
That means
They're doing the lights.
closing
But that
time.
champagne, though.
One last call.
That's by the way, I mean, obviously you're doing intentional for a time, but that's like a record for number of cans.
I don't think I've
knocked
done
over.
it not intentional this entire time.
But I'm
playing off the
I'm
very
just saying,
first
I'm just
one.
saying, I know it isn't. But as long as you've not done it intentionally, this is easily the record today.
You think so?
You probably did it like 7 times during the podcast.
Now someone's going to find out.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll count it up. All right, I'm gonna go take a 40-minute shower.
Sounds good.
All right, be respectful. Come on.